Welcome back to Frederick Advice Givers, episode 155. I'm Eric Verdi, and to my right here is Camden Raynor, local Frederictonian, actually running for the Board of Ed here this fall. The election's a fall, right?
Yes, November 6th. Yep.
So just when this comes out, just about a month and a half away. Camden's, as I mentioned, a local guy, is in college at College Park, has some interesting ideas and thoughts that he wants to share with you today. And it's my pleasure to have Camden. Thanks for joining us, Camden.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so for our audience that doesn't know you, tell us your backstory. Where did you grow up? What do you enjoy doing in your spare time? Who are you?
Sure. Well, I was born here in Frederick County in 1998 and 20, for those who don't know. I grew up in Myersville. I grew up actually on the road where the new Myersville Library is going to be, so it's always exciting to see that and see your hometown do well and that kind of thing. I currently live in Middletown with my parents. I have a younger brother and a younger sister.
Okay.
My younger brother is a freshman at Shenandoah University down off of 81, so he's a musical theater major. So we're pretty proud of him, and he's just doing great down there. And
awesome.
Both my parents are teachers here in Frederick County.
Okay.
I went to Wolfsville Elementary. I had the pleasure of heading up there, so way up there in the mountains.
Small little elementary school.
Yeah, I have a big thing for small schools, and
right.
it's pretty great. We had one class per grade, 28 kids, and we followed all the way through high school together, which is kind of fun. I had my mom as my music teacher for 4 years there, so having a parent as teacher is always an adventure. It was a lot of fun.
So do you have a music background too?
No, well, I played clarinet from like 4th to 6th grade, and then I stopped because I wasn't. My mom could do the clarinet, like a bunch of instruments. She could play piano, but I wasn't really about that,
Gotcha.
My brother was more,
Very cool.
And I had my grandma as my teacher as well. I was the little preschool program they have in the high schools, and I was 3, and she was my teacher too. So definitely runs in the family.
So you come from a lineage of teachers.
Yeah, I do for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. So is that where your passion for the Board of Ed?
Well, I've never had a desire to be a teacher, like, at all. I can't. It's such hard work for, not great pay for what you do, but of course it's good work what they do, and they should be respected and encouraged. But yeah, I've never wanted to be a teacher. It's just so much work, and I can't really. But I've grown up with it in every kind of way. I watch my parents love what they do and work to be better at it. And for sure, I'm interested. It's kind of just been my whole life, in a way, and it's just kind of what I'm surrounded by all the time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're running for Board of Ed.
I am. Yeah.
In the fall.
I am.
Yeah. I guess this is your first foray, being that you're 20, into
legally. It's my first time I could actually run, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. First
so
foray into politics.
What prompted you? What was your motivation? What's inside of you that said, "Hey, man, I can make a difference," or "Hey, this is something I want to pursue"?
Well, it's kind of a strange dichotomy, because you'd never want to run and say, "Vote for me because I'm a young person," but you also want to use it to your advantage. To be frank with you, and how do you reconcile that? It's kind of my problem. I believe elected officials should reflect the communities they serve. Mm-hmm. I'm the youngest candidate by a quarter century. Only candidate born after the fall of the Soviet Union. I think these are practical things you should think about in terms of like your life experiences and the diversity elected officials have in Frederick County. That being said, I also have the experience you need to be a board official. So I think I'm running because I just believe we need diverse leadership and experience on the board. I have the qualifications needed. And also, I've lived here my whole life. I understand what Frederick County is about. And I'm a 5th generation Middletown graduate. I understand what these people need and what we want to do for the future of the school system here in Frederick County. If that makes sense. It's challenging to describe the youth aspect in a way people.
Well, it makes total sense, and you've got it's what we call controlling your OPA and your own personal narrative.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you're out there talking to people, you've got to take what could be perceived as a negative and figure out a way to turn it into a positive. We do that in business all the time, and you need to do that in politics and in the platform that you're running. You need to be able to get out in front of the message and say, this is why you should vote for me, because, and then you want to list the reasons of, hey, I'm young, but, and this and this and this and this.
It's selling yourself.
Right, it's controlling your message.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so let's take it back a little human here.
Sure.
What's the last purchase that you splurged on for yourself or your family?
Last purchase I splurged on, goodness, we went to Disney World over the summer. That was pretty fun.
Really?
So we usually, my little sister's severely disabled, and the absolute best with disabled children there. That's fun.
Yes, they are.
So I got, I collect their little pins. Mm-hmm. They serve no purpose, but I love them. So that's why I got a couple pins when I was there.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I enjoy them. We have a little board. I put them on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been a couple times. The boys go around and you trade with other, you trade with Disney workers that are there.
Yeah, I love them, but you get back home, it's like, what am I going to do with it? But
exactly,
it gives me joy. So
exactly. So your whole family went?
Yeah,
your brother, sister, parents?
Yeah, well, my brother graduated high school in the spring, and so it was kind of his trip thing. So we all went, because it gets harder when I guess we're all adults and
right, it does.
We're trying to
it gets harder
organize vacations. Yeah,
get everybody's schedules together.
Yeah, we all went. That was fun.
Cool,
for sure.
So, what hobby or interest could you spend hours doing outside of going to school full time? Right.
Yeah, I'm
going to school
student. Yep.
and running for office.
Yeah, well, of the 30 minutes a day I have extra, I would say I really enjoy. I'm an outdoor person.
Okay.
We have 10 acres out where I live, so we have a lot of fun. I learned how to drive a tractor when I was little, so it's kind of a lot of fun. I have a raspberry patch that I deal with too.
So what do you do with the raspberry patch?
Well, I'm not very good at it, but like I quite enjoy. I weed it, that kind of thing. I go out there and I pick them. I'm not in the high maintenance yard work, but I just enjoy being outside. We try every year to grow a pumpkin patch in my yard.
Okay.
So we till it up like an acre or so, and then we try to. But it hasn't been successful, but we're working on it for sure. And
then what was the side business your dad was into?
Oh yeah, well back in the day, my dad makes homemade cheesecakes, so they're pretty good. But so for a while there, when he was a teacher, he would sell them to people, that kind of thing. He was working. It's just a lot of work, but I mean, I had to put in a request a couple months early to get him to make me one because it takes a lot of effort. And
now, aren't there different flavors of cheesecakes?
He has like 50. Well,
so what's your favorite?
Well, I'll tell you my best and my worst because there was definitely a worst one. My favorite one, he only makes it in October and November. It's the pumpkin roll cheesecake. So it's like the pumpkin cheesecake with the epic icing on it, and it's really good. It's pretty awesome. 1 year when he was really experimenting for Thanksgiving, he made us a green bean casserole cheesecake, like legit. So it was green, but it tasted like one too. So it was quite innovative for sure. But I wouldn't eat it again. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. He still has the recipe. He'll never make it
again.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd make that one again.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great, for sure.
All right, Cameron, so you wake up in the morning. What's that drive? You're a busy man. Like what inside you gets you going during the day or every day?
I think just the knowledge that I think too many people, especially my age, don't recognize the difference they can have in the world. People, the way I look at it, Constitution, the Charter, whatever you want to call it, you're 18 or above, you're a full member of this democracy and your community. It doesn't mean politics, it doesn't mean anything in your community. And why do so many people under the age of just 50 do nothing? In their community, I'm like, we need people to step up and say, I want to be a voice for those kind of people. I also want to inspire others to do the same thing. Next 2 years from now in the county, I want to see a bunch more people under 30 running for office or starting businesses. I mean, I don't know why we don't do more of that. And that's what drives me every day. Yeah.
So what's a piece of advice that somebody has given you along your journey here?
Yeah.
That hasn't quite turned out as they thought it would? Somebody
told me to fill out like every questionnaire, go on every radio interview you get offered, and don't do that because that's a trap into you have some really crazy people on both sides who are trying to bait you into things. And so I'm like, I'm perfectly willing to ignore it. I don't want to ignore people, but at the same time, you're like, I know that's trying to get me to give an answer to a question that I don't want to get drawn into. That makes sense, So
makes perfect sense. And that's
there's some nefarious people out there trying to.
So this is kind of in the middle here with advice givers because we're not a political show. We're not here to talk politics. It's more to find out who you as a person are.
Yeah,
and I've found in life. In business, people align themselves with people that they have common core values or that they get along with, or there's a common denominator.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's not their political affiliation. It's not who they voted for. It's not where they live. It's does that person jive with me? Do I get a sense of I like that person? And I think that can cross all types of lines. So here we're just here to introduce you to the public.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would just say is what my race is a nonpartisan race, and I am a member of one of the major political parties. But I tell you, I get all around the county, and just people are willing to talk to you and just be very open about we're trying to make things better for the community and for the school system, and that's what we're here to do. We're not here to promote an agenda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So, what failure or loss, could be personal, could be anything, that has helped define who you are, Camden?
Well, I'd say, I'll get serious for a minute. My younger sister, I mentioned earlier, is severely disabled. And it's kind of something where it's not a failure or a loss, because you can't control that. But it puts things in your life in a new perspective. Like, I have to think about things that most people my age don't. When my parents are older, who takes care of my sister? That kind of, it just completely changes your parameter and your paradigm for how you view your life. And I mean, that's changed. That's made me, I think, grow up a little bit faster in how you look at things. But it's also made me, I think, a better person in that sense. I don't want to like brag. I think I have a tremendous heart for those kind of people.
Right.
And for just seeing people who can't speak for themselves. And that's why I think that's had the most profound effect on my life and my politics and all that kind of stuff. But
how old is your sister?
She is, that's embarrassing. She's 16. Yeah, she goes to the Rock Creek School in Frederick. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 4 years older.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Kim, so where do you see yourself in 3 years and then in 10 years?
Well, 3 years, I hope to see myself on the Board of Education,
Right.
My third year of my term. Ideally, I'd like to go to grad school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an econ and history double major currently. I don't like economics, but I'm doing it to get a practical degree, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to go to grad school for that, but we'll see. Maybe history, that kind of thing. I'd like to see myself stay in Frederick County, absolutely. I have no desire to leave. We're such a fantastic mini world of Maryland here in Frederick County. I grew up in the mountains.
Right.
Most of Urbana is younger than I am, but you have this kind of northern Montgomery County feel. You got the beautiful Frederick City. It's a phenomenal little just community we have here. It's very cool. I want to keep it that way.
It is.
And 10 years as well.
Yep.
Well, in 10 years, that's like another third of my life, so it's kind of hard to imagine another 10 years from now. I'd imagine I'd like to get married at some point in my 20s. Your 20s is kind of like your friend's decade. There's a lot that goes on. I'd like to finish my master's degree, really find a career. It's you get into politics, and I have a lot of ideas of what I do, but I'm a very I could do 20 different things I find fascinating. So it's kind of trying to find what I want to do. It's kind of a searching decade for me. So we'll see. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So final thoughts that you want to share with our audience, your platform, how to get a hold of you, how to find out more information about you.
Sure. Well, I'll just very quickly, my basic platform talks about teacher pay, equity in school construction, promoting STEAM education. Those are my three big things. You can find me on Facebook, Camden Raynor, Board of Education, or just friend me at Camden Raynor. I'll probably accept your request. We have enough mutual friends. That's awesome. I'm on Twitter, at Camden Raynor, and soon we'll be on Snapchat, but we're working on that. So yeah, lots of good stuff coming down the pipe for sure.
Awesome.
And yeah, I urge you all, just to vote as well. It's coming up.
Cool. Camden, I appreciate taking time out of your busy schedule to join us and our guests at Frederick Advice Givers.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Listeners, viewers, hope you enjoyed Camden Raynor as much as I did, and we are out.